The tightly choreographed election was also dismissed in many opposition-held areas of Syria, where violence has been unrelenting. A win for Assad will likely boost his support base and make the conflict in the country drag even longer. CCTV's Nathan King joins us more on the Syrian election. Nathan.
That's right, Elaine. He's survived more than 3 years of civil war, calls from Western powers, including the President of the United States, to step down, and now he's running for a third term. President Bashar al-Assad of Syria shows few signs of going anywhere.
Critics say this election is neither free nor fair. But the fact is that President Assad is still very much here. And if, as expected, he is re-elected, he will be Syria's president for another 7 years.
He's holding elections because his second term is about to expire. And he wants to tell the world that he is a legitimate president. And if the world wants to see an end to the crisis in the country, the world needs to get in touch with him. As simple as that.
And if the process is flawed, the PR seems perfect. The first election in 50 years with more than one candidate, 15 million Syrians eligible to vote in 9,000 polling stations. Some supporters of Assad decide to show their support by casting their ballots with their blood. But blood continues to be spilt on the battlefield after 3.5 years of grinding civil war and more than 150,000 dead. Rebels still control key areas of the country. In the besieged city of Aleppo, civilians fled bombings rather than cast ballots. And from Assad's Western opponents, a rejection of the vote.
The Syrian presidential election is a farce. It doesn't fulfill international standards for free, fair and transparent elections. And I'm sure that no ally will recognize the outcome of these so-called elections.
And some Syrians seem to agree, holding a symbolic election casting the kill forces to President Assad. But 3 years after many Western powers said Assad must step down, Assad holding this election is widely seen as him feeling strong enough and secure enough to try and legitimize a third term.
One of the key questions now is what will be the reaction of Western powers when Assad is elected as expected. The US has indicated it may be training and supplies. But as yet, outside help has not translated to rebel gains on the battlefield. What has happened is that the many radical Islamic groups have filled the vacuum created by the conflict and worried Syria's many minorities who may have opted for security when they cast their votes for Assad. As for peace talks, well, Russia has said that Assad's re-election should not jeopardize their resumption. But as we know, 2 rounds have resulted in stalemate and 2 international peace envoys have stepped down due to lack of progress. Elaine?
Does not bode well. Nathan King, thanks for that.